be led by Josh Collins and Alfredo Zabalza. Well, I'm learning that Jessica Backman has taken a place. That's good. Jessica Backman, a little bit of a surprise that she struggled here at PF because she has been, well, in the top 10 on previous occasions, but we would expect her to make the top 20 and not really have to go via the last chance saloon, the second chance heat. This is Joshua Collins that you saw at the top of your screen, going through to the left as you look at it, kicking on a little bit, followed by Alfredo Zabalza. This is the final turn on the circuit. 3:16 is Joshua Collins, going over the start-finish line to start the second of their initial laps, and have to contradict what was said previously. Jessica Backman looks to be a non-starter. Jessica Backman, who would have started on the outside of row 4, will not take her place in this second chance heat. So the only lady in the race is the French lady, Cécile Martini, on row 8. And Masao Mikanda of Japan getting a little bonus on the outside of row 5 by having a gap where Jessica Backman would have been. Okay, don't know how nervous the guys get. I always tend to get nervous when I'm about to call the race, and this is no exception, and it's only the second chance heat. But it's how I am. Josh Collins is on pole position and Alfredo Zabalza joins him on the front row. Stendorian Pirimargi and Antoine Bouton are row 2. Max Renberg and Tobias Holm, row 3. Here we go. And it's a good start by Josh Collins and a little bit of a hesitant start by Alfredo Zabalza, although I do believe he's wrestled third place out of that. Stendorian Pirimargi is the guy who went under the bridge second behind Joshua Collins. And I think that Alfredo Zabalza may have lost a place. Let's just check out as they come into view with the naked. Well, already looking over his shoulder is Josh Collins. What on earth are you doing, Josh? Just kick on, mate, and put distance between yourself and the rest. Your third place driver is cart 244, Alfredo Zabalza, and those front-running 3 are clear of cart 218. Well, 218 again, Antoine Bouton. Would have expected Antoine Bouton to have not had to go via the last chance saloon. He started down, well, let me have a look where he was. Antoine Bouton on the outside of the second row, so he was one of the guys who was squeezed a little bit, so he's just about in a position where he could only have been at best at the moment. So in that relative context, a good start for the Frenchman. Having said that, Nicholas Tihonen has wriggled past him as I was speaking. Under the bridge and climbing up to the left, where they will then go over that point. Here is the point over the top of where you were looking at on screen moments ago, and falling down now, not falling down, but dropping down the grade to the left of your screen. You see the incline, really quite a severe one. That reminds me a little bit of the incline at the Monaco Kart Cup. It's just about the same sort of angle. Well, Joshua Collins has got himself about 6 kart lengths clear. Stendorian Pirimargi going well enough in second. Alfredo Zabalza in third place, putting a little bit of pressure on him. But we always say this in commentary, be careful how much pressure you put on, because that third place would be okay. There's quite a gap then to Nicholas Tihonen of Finland 4th, Antoine Bouton 5th, and Max Renberg of Sweden 6th. And those three drivers are actually themselves clear of the rest. You see them going under the bridge now, and there's a driving standards flag out, and it's going to Boris Kolf. Well, Boris Kolf is in 9th place. Oh, and cart 223 goes out. Cart 223, it wasn't 223, was it? It's, not really sure. Try and have another look at that. Don't think it was one of the front runners, so that being the case, we don't need to be too troubled. If it was Ryuk Hiruka, which it might have been, then that would have just about crowned the most unhappy weekend of Ryu Hiruka's racing ever, but I'm just guessing a little. Well, Joshua Collins, leading this first group of 3, is actually now leading a group of 6. The scrap you see on screen now are all out of, well, they were moments ago, out of qualifying positions. The 6 guys coming through now are the ones in a qualifying position, and as you can see, they are clear by a fair margin of the rest of the field. They are Josh Collins in the lead, Alfredo Zabalza second, Spendorian Pirimargi third, Nicholas Tihonen fourth, Tobias Holm fifth, Antoine Bouton sixth, and Antoine Bouton sixth, and then the leading driver in the group that's chasing is kart number 319, Abdullah Al-Rawahi, showing some of his best form so far this weekend. The light on our television screen tells you that it is an overcast day today after the brilliant wall-to-wall sunshine all week up until the start of track action on Saturday morning. In stark contrast, there is Abdullah Al-Rawahi, kart number 319 you saw in shot, but these 6 drivers that you see are the ones in the qualifying position, and they're in the happy state of having a really big gap behind them. This is the 7th place driver that you saw. Here is turn 1. There's the 6 in the qualifying positions. Then some good racing behind for 7th, 8th, and then race for 9th and 10th. But it is, Boris Kolf, who posted a quick lap moments ago in 7th place because he's gone past Abdullah Al-Rawahi. But 7th and 8th having a good dice, but unfortunately for them, they're having a good dice about 20 lengths behind the front-running 6. Probably even 30 lengths behind the front-running 6. Josh Collins looks rather big of stature. He's not a driver I've seen race previously. And going up into 3rd place is Tobias Holm. Tobias Holm in kart 263 in that Tony kart for RS competition goes from 4th to 3rd, and that relegates Nicholas Tihonen, the Finnish driver, in kart 239 in the Formula K chassis, down 1 to 4th place. But for Nicky Tihonen, still in a qualifying position. We're into the second half of the race because this is the start of lap 6. Joshua Collins holding a quarter of a second on the Mexican driver Alfredo Zabalza, and Tobias Holm from Denmark, kart 263 in 3rd place. So Wales, Mexico, Denmark 1, 2 and 3. Finland, Estonia, France 4, 5 and 6. They're the guys in the qualifying positions. Boris Kolf has got over 3 seconds to make up. Over 3 seconds to make up from 7th to 6th. But stick to it, could happen, and there's a change of leader because Tobias Holm, having gone through, Alfredo Zabalza also just catching that out the corner of my eye. So Joshua Collins, who looked very comfortable in the lead, has found that halfway round lap 6 is going to be in 2nd place. So coming over to start lap 7, there is your new race leader, Alfredo Zabalza from Mexico. Don't recall having been in the United Kingdom and referring to a Mexican winning a race before, and it hasn't happened yet, but in fact he's gone all wrong. Alfredo Zabalza getting himself, very much in a wrong place. He hung himself out to try, and Josh Collins, who was represented with the lead, loses it again, and this time it's to Tobias Holm in kart number 263. Tobias Holm puts his hand up, just a little gesture of acknowledgement. Alfredo Zabalza, all was not lost from that potential race victory. He's still in 3rd place. He wants to be in the top 6. He is. The front-running 5 are well clear. The exposed one is Antoine Bouton. He's a full second behind Spendorian Pirimargi, who's 5th. Then it's a full second to Antoine Bouton 6th. But the good news for the Frenchman from Orléans, Antoine Bouton is 4 seconds clear of the 7th place driver, and that's the more relevant statistic. There you see Antoine Bouton in shot now under the bridge. Here are the chasing pack led by Boris Kolf. Coming over the bridge, your race leader Tobias Holm, 2nd place Josh Collins, 3rd place Alfredo Zabalza. We saw them all. And change of leader again because Josh Collins goes in front. Josh Collins, for about the 4th time in the race, has led, if we count the lead that he took from pole position. Looks over his shoulder. Alfredo Zabalza bidding to go second. Little bit of wheel bumping, but he does go second. Tobias Holm getting himself, on the wrong end of the wheels. Quite unintentional by the Mexican, but it's the sort of thing that you don't want to do if you're in a qualifying position, just in case the officials take a dim view of it. This is the completion of lap 8, therefore one to go. Joshua Collins really shouldn't lose it from here because he's 0.6 of a second clear of the Mexican, who in turn is 0.9 of a second clear of third place Estonian Sten Dorian Pirimarji. Well, let's just have a look. Well, there's still racing going on. Third, fourth, having a really good dice. Guys, I want to tell you to stop racing. It's dangerous. You're in a qualifying position. You're completely safe. The sixth one there, Antoine Bouton, has caught up completely after that big gap behind. Best of the chasing pack still is Boris Kolf in cart 285, maybe about to be past cart 281. Anthony Patak has got the better of that battle, but it's a lost cause in terms of qualifying because we've got only about 250 metres to go. Joshua Collins from pole position is going to win this one, but not having led throughout. Josh Collins wins it. Alfredo Zabalza is second, Sten Dorian Pirimarji third, Tobias Holm fourth, Nicholas Tihonen is fifth, Antoine Bouton sixth, and a good drive by Anthony Patak into seventh place, but that drive was 4 full seconds behind the top six, so it's in a lost cause, but good drives by Anthony Patak in seventh place, Abdullah Al-Rawahi in eighth place, ninth place Boris Kolf, who was up to seventh at one time, and Peter Foulin completing the top 10. Commiserations to Jessica Backman, who didn't even start the race. Well, on screen you see that mix of nations flags to the left. Josh Collins, the Welshman, coming home 0.6 of a second clear of the Mexican Alfredo Zabalza. Estonian Sten Dorian Pirimarji third, Danish driver Tobias Holm fourth, Finnish driver Nicholas Tihonen fifth, and the last of our qualifiers, Antoine Bouton from Orléans, very close to Salbris, where we go for our final round in a couple of months' time or 7 weeks' time. He was sixth. Quite a big gap then, 4 seconds behind Antoine Bouton. The non-qualifiers, the American Anthony Patak, the Omani driver, or one of two Omani brothers, Abdullah Al-Rawahi 8th, Boris Kolf 9th, Peter Foulin 10th, and the lady, I didn't call in commentary, she started stone last, but the lady from France in cart number 268, just outside the top 10 in 11th place, but sadly a non-qualifier. Well, commiserations to those of the drivers that we bid farewell to: Jessica Backman, Ryu Hiruka, Max Renberg, Masao Mikanda, Nico Rindlish-Barker, Cecile Martini, Peter Foulin, Boris Kolf. In all probability, we say goodbye to Abdullah Al-Rawahi, and in all probability, we say goodbye to Anthony Patak. The front-running 6 got to go through scrutineering, got to see if there's any officials' calls against any of them, but otherwise it looks as if they will take their place in the senior pre-final, which is away this early afternoon at 12:10. Well, it's just past 11 o'clock now. Our next track action is at 11:30, so we've got the biggest